Hi everyone. In today's video, we are going to talk about something that many Python developers hear about it. Protocol from the typing module. This is not a network protocol. This is about type checking in Python. Protocol provides a structural subtyping or duck typing with type safety, meaning I don't care what your class is. I only care what your class can do. What is a protocol? A protocol defines an interface without requiring inheritance. It checks whether an object has the required methods and properties. If it does, it matches the protocol. In the first example, we created a class called drawable using protocol, and it has a draw method. Then we have other classes like circle and square. These classes do not need to inherit from the protocol. They just need to have the correct method, in the case draw. Now we define a function called render, which takes a parameter called shape of type drawable. Inside the function, we call shape.draw. When we pass a circle or a square into this function, VS Code checks if these classes actually have a draw method. If they do, everything works. This means if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it works. But if we remove the draw method from, for example, circle class, I commented, and save the file, VS Code will immediately show an error. It says circle class doesn't doesn't the draw method, and the type circle cannot be assigned to parameter shape of type drawable in function render. So the problem is caught early before running the code. Now let's move to the second example. Here we compared protocol with abstract based classes or ABC. For example, we have an animal class with a speak method. The dog one inherits from animal and implements a speak. So ABC enforce through inheritance. But the protocol, you don't need inheritance. The class is completely independent. Protocol only checks, does this class have the required method? If yes, it works. If not, it gets error. In examples 3 and 4, we are looking at the difference between classic duck typing and using protocol in Python. So first, we have a function called unsave underline data. It takes a storage object, and inside the function, we simply call storage.save. We also have a few classes: database storage, file storage, and cloud storage. Each of these classes is supposed to have a save method. Then we call save underlying data three times, once with database storage, one with file storage, and with cloud storage. Now, here's the problem. With duck typing, your editor does not warn you if one of these classes is missing the save method. You won't notice anything is wrong until you actually run the code. For example, in cloud storage, if I comment save method, you don't get any error from VS Code. But when you run your program example3.py, your program crashes at the runtime, and that's bad. Now, let's look at the same idea using protocol. We create a protocol called a storage, and inside it, we define the save method. After that, we build our classes: database, file storage, cloud storage. Each one implements a save method. Then we update our function so it takes a storage object, meaning it must follow the storage protocol. Just like before, we called save underline data 3 times with different storage types. But now, here's the key difference. If, for example, file storage, I comment, save method and remove save method, you see VS Code immediately gives us an error, okay, while we are writing the code. And you don't even need to run this code. This is power of protocol. You keep the flexibility of duck typing, but you also get type safety. The editors catch mistake early and your design becomes more flexible. So the idea is simple. Duck typing is flexible but unsafe. Protocol is flexible and safe. That is the beauty of using protocol. Pylance is the VS Code extension for Python, and it has excellent support for typing and protocol. But by default, it's not strict, so you need to enable a strict mode. Go to code, preferences, and settings, and type Pylance. I type checking, and you don't need to write this uppercase Pylance type checking and set it to a streak, and the VS Code will show you errors. I hope these examples help you to understand what is the protocol. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.